Hey there, wrestling fans. It's John Pollock here alongside Jimmy Corderas. WrestleMania 30 is coming up this Sunday night from New Orleans, Louisiana. And Jimmy, let's just dive right into the card here. Where kind of is your interest level right now for WrestleMania, and what programs have clicked for you on television thus far?
Well, for me, I'm always excited about WrestleMania. I figure sooner or later the WWE will
Man that
deliver.
has headlined WrestleMania, folks, 2008.
Well, I was part of the headline.
In the ring.
In the ring.
The main event of WrestleMania is headlining WrestleMania in my books.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll go with it. But yeah, I'm excited for WrestleMania. There's a couple of things going on. Obviously, the match that interests me the most is John Cena versus Bray Wyatt.
Agreed.
I find that very interesting that John Cena seems to be the underdog going into this match. I don't think this has happened since WrestleMania 20, facing the Big Show for the United States Championship at Madison Square Garden. So going into it, I think it's a different twist, and I like that.
Everything they have done with Bray Wyatt in this build-up, from the reactions he's getting with his tremendous promo work, to even the entrance where he'll say the name of the city, and John Cena, they're teasing him going into this dark part where his legacy is up for grabs. You almost get the sense that it's like this double turn coming, which I don't think is what we're going to get. But that said, I feel Bray Wyatt is going to be as popular as anybody to that audience on Sunday night, and even more so the next night on Raw. I think Bray Wyatt is going to feel like just an absolute star this coming weekend. And that's to their credit that they've really elevated this guy.
Absolutely. And I don't think in this situation, I think it's going to be one of those ones where it doesn't matter who wins this match. I think Bray Wyatt, even in losing, could come out a huge star. And John Cena winning this match feels like a big deal. So I like the way that it's going in that direction. It could be like the Jeff Hardy thing versus The Undertaker. Jeff Hardy, after that ladder match with The Undertaker, just elevated him huge, and I think this could happen.
And Bray Wyatt gets over and losing. And I don't think this has to be a one-match feud. I think this can continue past WrestleMania. Obviously, one of the biggest focal points every year is the streak, with The Undertaker this year taking on Brock Lesnar. This has kind of been teased for years, going back to that infamous Ariel Helwani interview at UFC 121 in 2010, teasing this with The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. It's happening on Sunday, and I think sometimes they feel that the streak is just, it sells the match itself. But my expectations are somewhat a little wanting here going into this match in terms of how they presented Brock Lesnar here as a threat, and that's pretty much that's the basis of the streak every year, is trying to convince you that it's in jeopardy this year.
No, absolutely, I agree with that. I going into WrestleMania again, Brock Lesnar doesn't seem to be having the upper hand on The Undertaker and making you think that the streak is in jeopardy, and that's one of the things that's happened over the last few years versus Shawn Michaels, versus even Triple H, and even to some extent last year versus CM Punk. You thought there was at least some chance that The Undertaker's streak would come to an end. I don't see that mindset happening this year, which I would have liked going into it.
And I do feel, though, the match should probably be incredible. And you will get that spot where there is that one near fall where people go nuts thinking Brock is going to beat him. And I think from that point on, that crowd will be at the edge of their seats. There's no doubt about that in my mind. In terms of just strictly a one-on-one match, I think Triple H and Daniel Bryan, I'm very much looking forward to that. What happens with Daniel Bryan on Sunday if Jimmy Corderas is writing the ending to WrestleMania?
Well, if I'm writing the ending, I do what people will call the predictable thing. I mean, you have Daniel Bryan defeat Triple H. After the match, maybe there's a little bit of a beatdown and make it look even more impossible for Daniel Bryan to overcome the odds in the three-way match. Then he eventually wins the three-way match, and you go off the air with 80,000 people doing the yes chant. That would make sense. But then again, I would not be. I would be surprised, not shocked, but I would be surprised if Triple H were to actually come out ahead. And just thinking back to SummerSlam and making it a complete full circle to SummerSlam next year, Triple H goes into the three-way, wins the title, then Daniel Bryan faces him at SummerSlam to defeat the guy who screwed him over for over a year.
Now, Jimmy Corderas writing the one-year arc here for the WWE. Well, WrestleMania, it's coming up this Sunday night on pay-per-view if you don't have the WWE Network at 7 Eastern, and check it out live this Sunday in New Orleans.